So in this video, we will go through the top 12 my winter car suggestions that were suggested for fans to Toplessgun, and also his approval or rejection of them. And also, let me just say that some of the replies have already been included in my past videos. Without any more yapping, let's just right into the video. One more thing, at the end there will be a feature revealed that not everyone knows about it, and don't forget to subscribe. The first one is insurance. So on 11th of February, someone asked about insurance. As far as we know, Topless loves making our virtual finish lives even harder, so I want to suggest adding insurance. I'm not sure how exactly it works in Finland, but in my country, having car insurance is required by law. So it would be funny if after passing the inspection, the player had to pay some amount of money, for example, once per 12 weeks. If he ignores it, he will be fined by police. And he answered with, I have thought of this feature few times. I know it is quite essential as in real life, but it's just way too complex and problematic to put into a game. At minimum, it would be just constant, mandatory payment that would cause huge fines if missing it got caught by police. Then someone replied with, yeah, it would be very annoying. The idea is good but doesn't fit in the game. Talking about fines, what do you think of adding that police can take your car because of being very drunk and not paying bills? Then you have to pay to get the car back, or you can stole it. If you stole it, you go to prison, but you can be lucky and don't get sent to prison. And he said, it is not really a thing in Finland. You would need to commit serious constant crimes with the car until it was confiscated. And even then, you would not be able to get it back anymore. What do you think about insurance? I personally would like it in the game. Just a new expanse to make my winter car even more enjoyable. The second one is about Rivet headlight adjustment, where on 18th of August 2024, someone asked, will we have to adjust the headlights on the Rivet similarly how we adjust the tire toe? And with time, they get out of alignment, and we can either do it ourselves or ask Fleetari to align them. I need to study how it is done and see if it's a possibility to make it a feature. The third suggestion is betting on football games. And he asked, make machines to bet on football games. You can make up fake football teams, let's say Football Club Parajarvi and Football Club Kesselin Play, and then you would bet on which one wins. I know this would be hard to put in the game, but it's only suggestion. And he replied with, there is already simulated hockey regular season. Betting feature could be added to that. Would not be out of place in the game and setting. Sports betting was and is popular. I think another way of gambling would be fun. Let me know what you think, and also subscribe while you are down there. The fourth thing we have is many different suggestions and questions, so let's get to it. It would be nice to see some parked cars around the map in-game. I am adding more parked cars. Yes, it sort of makes sense too, because you can't really move around without a car because it is so cold. Questions. If you just stopped adding features, how much can be the estimated progress? If I had stopped with these features, I'd say it would take few weeks to make it good enough for EA. Will there be an alternate ending for my summer car? I would love so, but I am not sure if it is practical to do at this point. Hard to estimate how much work it would be. How fast can the sorbet go? More than 100, less than 200. Here's an idea for you. Release game and add new features with future updates to keep the game in active development for longer. It is a possibility, but not sure how people welcome unfinished game again. I personally, as a gamer, do not have anything against the concept of early access. The fifth thing is about fuel filter in Rivet. Someone recommended it. Will the possibility of pouring the wrong fuel into the Rivet be implemented? This would result in engine damage once it starts running. Or we could tow the car to Fleetari to pump the fuel out of the tank and clean the fuel lines. It would be nice to see the required fuel filter replacement interval as well. It is a very difficult feature to make properly. I wanted to have it originally in MSC as well, but had to ditch it eventually. The sixth thing we have is about taxes, where someone asked, will we have to pay taxes in MWC? And Toplessgun said, if there were a real entrepreneur mode, the tax payment system would be a must-be feature. Now, as the player is just regular employee taxes are being handled basically automatically, so the feature would be quite unnecessary. Actually, it is a good point to think, there could be a proper entrepreneur mode where you could set up a company. That would make also a fun tax evasion minigame. Let me know if you want the taxes to be added. For me, just like insurance, just another expense, that will make our My Winter Car experience more realistic. The 7th thing is 7 questions and suggestions, so let's get through them. If the player gets into a slight fender bender, would they swear and have the stress bar go up a bit? I try not to add features that require precise checks for physical collisions. It is never controllable enough. If you do get in a wreck, will NPCs get pissed at you? Not likely, mostly related to the one-word point above. Will we get more lore on the player's family in the game? For sure. Looking at the Rivet while it's in a good state for a period of time could lower stress by a single inch. How can you decide when the car is in a good state? Compared to the MSC, the car is total junk most of the times. From how things are now, will My Winter Car come out in early or mid-2025? Could be possible, hopefully sooner even. Will you be able to sell certain things? Yes, in a flea market. Since there will be different trims of the Rivet, will the more high-trim models have better features, like better AC, more powerful engine? There is no AC available, but other than that, some of the luxury trims will have better features. If I remember right, there is currently only one feature/option, which you cannot install later on unless the original car has it already. I could try to figure out if I could add more such things. In any case, some of the parts are very hard to find even if they are available in theory. The 8th thing is a suggestion about windshield defroster for every car. That would be cool if cars could have a defroster for all the windows when it fogs up. And he said, there is such for the daily driver and project car. At this point, I do not have plans to enable the feature for rest of the vehicles as it is quite complicated. The 9th thing is about cold weather. Will the player get cold slower if he is drunk? Yes. Will running increase your body temperature? Will running slow down freezing? Yes, but if you start to sweat, you also start to get cold fast. But with proper clothing and temperature, you can keep up the body heat by running without getting sweaty. It also depends of the body weight. In this game, it is easy to gain weight as you walk and run. A lot less than in MSC. In my test save, I am already obese because having to go everywhere in a car. Any plans on tweaking this or adding a new feature to aid this issue? Or will the player have to go on a crazy diet to not get fat? I think it is pretty cool detail. Just need to eat less or healthier and exercise more. The calculations are same as in MSC, but because lifestyle is different, that can happen. I like those so far. Let me know if you do too. The 10th thing is the new things about computer, possibly some new games. I haven't given any thought for the computer yet, but most likely that would mean that some of the older games needs to be replaced then. I recall at some point you said that if you were going to add new games, you'd add it to some kind of new gaming console instead of the computer. Is that still planned or a feature you're still considering? Sure, could be. It mostly depends on the games itself if their style fits better to console or PC. But if there were a console, it would probably be 8 or 16-bit era console at max. The 11th thing is about the option to weld the diff. Would there be an option to weld the diff? 100% diff doesn't really work in this physics plugin, not really sure why that is. I have tried to fix it, but no progress. However, the maximum lock is maybe around 95%, so it is probably good enough considering how slippery the conditions are. Anyway, because of that, I am not sure if I can implement a welded diff feature, as it doesn't do what it is supposed to do. So, in this case, some of the factory rear ends come with optional LSD that are set to maximum lock possible. Sure, rear ends have wear and are breakable. First, they develop terrible whine, and eventually gears will lose teeth, and whole thing fails. And the 12th thing that was asked in forums was, I heard somewhere in the discussions that TG wants to bet on hockey. It should be on TV, I think. Question, will there really be random national team matches, for example? I would like to see Russia versus Canada, Sweden versus Finland. Same with the gaming computer. This was announced in the MSC loading screen in the last update. You can also change one similar letter everywhere where there may be copyrights, and that's it, as EA Sports did at the beginning of its journey. Not national matches, as they are usually played during late spring. The hockey series is played by regional teams. It has team rankings, so the match outcomes are not completely random. That makes it easier for betting and taking planned betting risks, if I ever get the betting feature in. However, the matches work already. You can't view the matches from TV, but results can be seen in teletext. It has match results, points standings, and player rankings. Let me know, what do you think about the video, and what would you like to see more on the channel? Subscribe to not miss any future videos.